This week I've got a Flex versus Makita Hammer Drill head-to-head on tap for you. We're going to run through performance tests, we're going to take a look at the specs, but first, I want to know who you think makes the best hammer drill. If you want to see more head-to-heads, buying guides, and power tool reviews, subscribe to the channel. We set up 4 performance tests for each cordless drill to complete. And while performance is certainly the biggest consideration for drills at this level, we'll also take a look at size, weight, features, and price. The first test has us drilling a 10.5-inch lag bolt into stacked OSB in low speed. That gives us the drill's highest amount of torque. We use an inline torque meter to record the maximum amount of soft torque before the drill stops. Our second and third tests are both in lumber, measuring drilling speed. Test 2 uses a spade bit to drill holes through stacked OSB until we get 3 reliable results from which to draw an average drilling speed. For test 3, we use a 2 9/16-inch self-feed bit, and we drill through a 2x4 pine stud at the highest possible speed. After drilling 3 holes into the stud, we average the times from trigger pull to completion. Finally, we run all our drills with a 3/8-inch concrete bit, drilling 3-inch holes in cured 4,000 psi concrete, and compare 3 runs to arrive at an average. We tested Flex using the 24-volt 5-amp-hour battery, and since Makita is running on a 40-volt platform, we'll be using a 2.5-amp-hour battery to make sure that these tools are running as evenly as possible. Flex's flagship hammer drill put out 425 inch-pounds of soft torque in our lag bolt torque test. Makita edged out Flex by the skin of their teeth, recording 428 inch-pounds of soft torque in the same test. That's less than a 1% difference. It's basically a tie. Now let's see how things shook out in our wood drilling tests. Flex comes in with another impressive showing, completing our spade bit test in 2.82 seconds on average. Again, Makita narrowly outpaces Flex in this test, completing the holes in 2.64 seconds on average. Increasing the power demand in our self-feed bit test, one of these drills took a commanding lead over the other. Flex was able to complete each of the holes in high speed in an average completion time of 4.74 seconds. This test is where Makita set itself apart, not only from Flex, but from the entire field, completing this rough-in application in 2.12 seconds on average. This was the best self-feed bit test results of any hammer drill we tested this year. Finally, let's take a look at how each of these hammer drills perform in concrete. We were impressed with Flex in the concrete test, slicing through our concrete block and sinking the bit in 3.44 seconds on average. For the first time in this entire head-to-head, Makita wavered in the concrete test, pulling in behind Flex at 4.22 seconds per hole. After testing these drills, things seem to be a little bit back and forth, so let's take a look at the technical specs to see who has the edge between the two brands. These are both 2-speed drills, with Flex operating at 700 to 2500 RPM, and Makita claiming 650 RPM in mode 1 and 2600 RPM in mode 2. The max torque of the Flex is 1400 inch-pounds, and Makita is spec'd out conservatively to 1250 inch-pounds. The hammer rates on these drills are just as close as they've been this whole video, with 40,000 blows per minute for Flex and 39,000 for Makita. Size and weight is pretty comparable as well on these hefty tools. The head length on the Flex is 7.3 inches, and the length for Makita is barely shorter at 7.2. The same goes for weight, with Flex weighing in at 3.8 pounds as a bare tool and Makita at 3.7 pounds. Before we wrap this up, let's take a look at where you can get these tools and how much they'll cost you. And spoiler alert, this is where Flex makes up a whole lot of ground. With that said, let's start with Flex. Available at Acme Tools and Lowe's, both online and in-store, Flex has options for a bare tool, a basic kit, or a combo kit with an impact driver. For the bare tool, it'll cost you just $159, which we believe to be a steal for a drill that performs as well as this one. The basic kit will net you the hammer drill and a 2.5 amp hour battery and a second 5 amp hour battery for $249. Finally, a 2-tool combo kit includes both the hammer drill and an impact driver, a 2.5 amp hour battery, a 5 amp hour battery, all for $299. So you'd basically be adding an impact driver for 50 bucks. Makita bills itself as a premier professional tool, so you're going to be paying premier professional prices, particularly for the newer XGT 40 volt max line. The GPH01 is available at Acme Tools and Home Depot, and it comes in the same bare tool, basic kit, and combo kit configurations that we showed you for Flex. The bare tool will cost you $244 from Acme Tools, or you can get the basic kit, which includes the hammer drill and two 2.5 amp hour 40 volt XGT batteries and charger for $499 bucks. Based on that $499 price tag, the 2-tool combo kit offered at Acme Tools, and which I'll get to next, is at a price that we can't even make sense of. For $469, that's $30 less than the hammer drill kit alone, you can get the 2-tool combo kit that includes the 40 volt XGT hammer drill, impact driver, a 2.5 amp hour battery, and a 4 amp hour battery and a charger. So you pay less for the hammer drill kit and get an additional tool, and one of your batteries gets upgraded to 4 amp hours in this process. If you want to get started on the 40 volt Makita XGT platform, this sounds like a no-brainer. While either of these hammer drills would make a great addition to any pro's tool bag, after laying out the facts, we want to know who you think deserves the win. Are you Team Flex or Team Makita? Leave it down in the comments below and lock in your pick by hitting the like button. After this video, check out our best cordless hammer drill video, where these two and 9 other drills go head to head for the top spot. Let us know if there are any other power tool 1v1s you'd like to see, and stay tuned for the next one. I'm Clint, and as always, thanks for watching Pro Tool Reviews.